do you think allowed the triumph of the temple?
I'm not listening.
Inquisitor.
We'll be spread thin until the rest of our forces return from the Arbor Wilds.
Of course. Inquisitor?
All right.
Let's see what we have. It comes swiftly, this moment that will be spoken of for ages. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn that thought itself a god. Defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy woman to the people. You'll enter legend.
If it's true, may the Maker judge me worthy of the honor.
And there is the modesty people respect. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed because of how you lead. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
You've always been there for us, Josephine. And for me.
It means much to hear you say that. Farewell, my lady. When you face Corypheus, may you walk in the light. A pleasure.
How do you stay so civil with everyone, Josephine?
Bonds of circumstance among the nobility are fickle. Civility is the only constant everyone admires. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know better.
Does it even become a strain sometimes?
Well, it can be trying. There is no shortage of self-regard among the nobility. The game can be wearying, discouraging, and extremely baneful. But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating friends.
One good thing about becoming Inquisitor has been meeting so many different people.
I'm pleased. I imagine we appear a strange bunch to those outside our circle. Mages, templars, seekers, and an apostate elf are not often found working in harmony. Or at all.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
That sounds more like a mob than a meeting.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
What do these Antivan heads of the households do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
Between that and the Inquisition, when do you ever rest?
Delegation helps a great deal. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royeaux. But I bowled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did, and she was most unsympathetic to my wailing. But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royeaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royeaux when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautifully foreign, I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Val Royeaux?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfelds, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Leliana.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Olay. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Leliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume there was more to it than a strange way to say hello.
It was a test of sorts. Leliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royeaux. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, arches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lady. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfronts never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade no matter what the weather.
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My youngest sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Stone mat, Inquisitor.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an elven rune, so a witch could consume a pool of magical goo and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
Carry on.
I was pondering who might be divine, and it suddenly occurred to me. Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
I think you would make a good divine.
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Clerics to vote in my favor. Justinia wanted the Chantry to grow, but her reforms never took root. She was held back by tradition and was too gentle to force change. I won't make that mistake.
You can't force people to change their minds.
Then how will change ever come? People do not simply happen upon enlightenment. Most must be carried there. Justinia thought the circles needed to change. But why stop there? The Chantry alienated potential allies by brutalizing elves and belittling dwarves. If we could bring them into the fold, wouldn't we have peace? There are those who would cling to the old ways, of course, but they will see. I would make them see. But I've rambled on too long. I am not divine. Yet. So if we kill Corypheus, he has the power to move from one tainted creature into another? What we will learn next? That he can command the sun to rise, or the seas to burn?
No matter how powerful he is, there's a way to defeat him, and we'll find it.
I hope you're right. I have researchers scouring the Temple of Mythol as we speak. I hope that their search turns up something we can use. Ancient magic, perhaps. Something even Corypheus missed. Anything to give us an edge.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
I'm sorry she didn't live to see the Inquisition.
So am
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do?
A divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why did Justinia have so many enemies?
There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. She had a past, a worldly life. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. She chose it, and somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
It sounds like you did some unscrupulous things as the left hand.
Perhaps, but wouldn't you do anything to protect what you love?
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher. So to answer your question, yes, it was more than friendship.
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
We'll talk more later.
I set aside an entire shelf for Grey Warden lore, and so far it's not even half full. Those Wardens and their secrets.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
How does this relate to the Elven Temple?
You encountered ancient elves. A piece of history. Something the Imperium didn't destroy. Maybe my people can atone for what we've done. There is something still left to restore. Maybe not all of us want to, but that could be altered. If you can change minds, so can I.
You're not doing nothing, Dorian. You came here. You're fighting with us.
Thank you for saying that. I want to do more than stop Corypheus, however. I want to save my home. It might surprise you to know that you're the one who inspired me. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything. Questions.
I should go.
I do rather like watching you leave.
My dear, I know you must have a great deal on your mind right now, but I need to speak with you. You know as well as I how far the Inquisition's influence has spread, and how desperate the Grand Clerics have become. Our opinion will be instrumental in their election of the new Divine.
They want Leliana and Cassandra as candidates.
The Inquisition may not be invited to their vote, but our actions will certainly influence the Grand Clerics. To sit on the Sunburst throne, a candidate should have grace, charm, and a will of solid steel. Cassandra may lack the first two, but unless you can think of someone better, she is the strongest choice.
Leliana might be a better choice than Cassandra, don't you think?
Leliana is a well-meaning fool. She will do irreparable harm to countless people in the name of freedom. She proposes to abolish the circles with nothing but a solemn promise from mages not to murder children. When an angry mage lashes out inside a tower, villages aren't destroyed. The circle protects us all. Mages will die and take ordinary men with them in a war that cannot be won. Consider carefully, Inquisitor. Everything we do is a sign from the Maker to those who seek one. It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? We should probably give some thought to the very likely possibility that Morrigan will use her new power against us.
I don't think it's likely. I think it's a certainty.
We will need to prepare ourselves, if we can. Circle records have limited information on shapeshifting. There are mentions of counterspells that may prevent mages from transforming or from reverting to their true forms. I have my people researching these spells now. If they have ever been documented, I'll find them. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes. My dear, did you need me for something?
So far in the reign of the lion.
You wanted to see me?
I got it!
E posti sala salva shop.
Yeah, my soul's dust. Yours is scattered all over the ground, though, so... Sorry, boss. I thought I might need backup. Guess I'm not even worth sending professionals for.
You knew the assassins were coming?
Little change in the guard rotation tipped me off.
Why didn't you tell me ahead of time?
You go through years of Ben Hasrath training to hide facial expressions when I wasn't looking. See? Like that. If I'd warned you or the guards, the assassins would have been tipped off.
Are you all right?
Fine. Hurt myself worse than this fooling around in bed.
What if they used poison?
Oh, they definitely used poison. Sarcomec, liquid form. If I hadn't been dosing myself with the antidote, I'd be going crazy and puking my guts up right now. As it is, it stings like shit, but that's about it.
Are you interested in getting some payback?
Against who? The entire Ben Hasrath? Besides, this wasn't serious. Sending two guys with blades against me? That's not a hit. That's a formality. Just making it clear that I'm Talvashoth. Talva fucking Shoth.
Are you going to be all right?
It's a knife wound, boss. I think I'll live. I'm fine. Thanks. Anyway, I'll get this cleaned up and let Red know what happened. Boss, whatever I miss, whatever I regret, this is where I want to be. Whenever you need an ass kicked, the Iron Bull is with you.
Stop following me.
I haven't taken a step.
Find space. It will need free.
Wonder well what did befell our heroes.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
It's been an honor, Bull.
Oh, don't get like that. This isn't goodbye. We're kicking this guy's ass. Good to see you, boss. Nice talking with you, boss.
Of course you handled this, Inquisitor. Most of the charges are still at the Temple of Mythal. I missed a crazy fire.
We'll talk later.
I saw him just walking free.
Fine day for
That
you.
was a decision, and it was well considered.
After what he did.
I know many pilgrims.
Oh, hi you. Strange days, right? Weird elves and Morrigan going wading. Better her than you. Glad to be back where things make sense after the demon-worshipping lies of Mythal. When do we go after What's-His-Lumps?
You seem pretty certain. You don't believe anything from Mythal.
Course not. What, I should believe all that stuff? Because elves? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods, and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
I'm with you. Everything in that temple was highly suspect.
Of course it was. You can't be Herald and think otherwise, yeah? I mean, that would just be daft. So, main takeaway, we got really weird power and we can throw it at Cariffy whatever. Fighting shite with shite. It's like poetry or something, I don't know. Get a bard on that. We should go slap hands in the tavern. Hey you have time? It's not a question, let's go. I've got something I want to do for you. Just come. You won't need your gear and stuff.
With you, I'll do anything.
I bet, yeah. Come on, let's do it.
We're eating. On a roof.
They're horrible, right? And raisins, ugh. I friggin' still hate cookies.
No, it's just that this is all a little confusing.
I got caught stealing when I was little, yeah? You get alienage or worse for that, but the Lady Emerald took me in. She was sick and couldn't have children. I had no parents. It worked out. Anyway, she gets a year sicker, so I ask her about cookies. Because mums make cookies. I can pass that down or something. Turns out, she couldn't cook. She missed that talk with her mom. The one she made, she bought and pretended. Ah, right. Well, no, she was a bitch. She hid buying them by keeping me away from the baker. She did that by lying that he didn't like me, didn't like elves. She let me hate so she could protect her pride. I hated him so much, and I hated... Well, she died. And I hate pride. Pride cookies. But this is great, you're great, so I thought maybe me and you could make some, I don't know, us cookies. Because then I could like them again. Oh, it's stupid.
You know what? That would be great.
See, I knew. Wait, really? Because it seemed friggin' daft every step to me. Suppose it's not really about them. I hate learning lessons. Makes my stomach hurt. Anyway, I'll throw this rubbish away. Next time will be better, yeah?
Sarah, anytime. Can we get off the roof now?
Oh, yes, please. Smells like bird and dank. This part, not a good idea. Thanks, yeah. Feels good, this.
We all did.
Welcome back.
Can't wait, what's on? Everyone's ants from here. I like ants. Can't wait, what's on?
I'd like to know more about you, now that you're comfortable.
Suppose. It's embarrassing enough now, may as well.
Anything more to say about where you came from, aside from hating cookies there?
Denerim, mostly. Before running into another Jenny. He was fun. Had weird friends, though. I think some of them were a lot more serious about being serious. Got some of them killed. I suppose they were like family. Better than Lady Emerald ever was. You know why? They didn't give two squirts about who or what you were. It was all what you did.
So where are the rest of them?
All over. Or they stopped to let new people go all over. Some get rich and stop playing so they can do good things with it. One or two don't. Eventually, someone asks for a favor against them. So don't get like that, you hear?
Denerim is a long way from Orlais. How'd you get there?
By Stinky Horse?
Sarah.
Denerim wasn't much fun after the Blight. Everyone trying to recover, you even feel bad for the nobles. But Val Royeaux, that's a fat city full of fat heads. They just don't know when to stop. You saw it. Orlais is rich and stupid. Ripe for the pickings.
So is that who showed you how to fight? Gave you your skills?
Nobody gave me anything except a chance. And maybe some lessons to start, but mostly just the chance. I took that and ran.
It's nice to see this side of you, that you trust me.
Don't you go blabbing around, yeah? Because I'll have a big, trusting foot up your pucker.
I think that after our rooftop chat, I get why you're not like other elves.
Well, don't. How about we dig into what you are? Or what you're supposed to be? Do you know all about elfiness? What it takes to keep our ears all perky? Because you could be more than just that. To me, anyway.
Didn't mean to poke at a sore spot. Consider it dropped.
Well, good then. Because that's the way I am. This way. You do this with everyone. Because I hope I'm not the only one that squirms like this. Feels weird.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Corypheus died, and then he didn't. That's why he always felt wrong. Like he didn't fit inside himself. He wears another man's life. I thought dying was forever.
It's hard for any of us to make sense of. Corypheus is using ancient magic.
But is it him? Is he real? If a man can be dead and then not... Could I have saved the real Cole?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I hardly understand any of this myself.
His hands were bruised from beating on the wall. It was dark, like the cabinet where he hid to escape his father. His belly hurt like knives, throat cracked dry. He was alone. I pushed through and held his hand. It was all I could do. He said, "Thank you." Thank you.
Haven was a cock-up, Herald, Inquisitor. But you did right by me, and others. We'll pay you back.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Orlesian nobles see politics as a great competition.
Yes, but none of them ever win.
How would you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Come on.
Inquisitor, you honor us with your presence. May I bring a sampling of fine cheeses for you and your guests?
I don't eat.
Well then, just a bottle of a fine Gislane White to start. Please enjoy your meal this evening, your worship.
He saw me. They all see me.
I'm glad you've allowed them to.
I don't know if I did. I find people when their pain leaves them open. I ease the pain. I leave, they forget. That was enough for me. Now they remember, and I'm not sure...
Cole?
I told you about Reese. The mage who could see me, my friend. My only friend for a long time. Evangeline showed me that Templars could be kind, but even she...
Cole, if this is troubling, we don't have to talk about it.
Gentle. You watch me walk into darkness over and over, and you always worry. Thank you. But this isn't about them. It's about... When I found out I wasn't human, when I grew, I lost Reese. I lost my only friend. That's why I was scared about letting all these people see me. That's why I laughed.
You're laughing at yourself?
Yes. This world taught me that changing means losing your friends. But now I know that doesn't have to be true. I have enough self to know that what I felt was foolish. Isn't it wonderful?
It's another good step, Cole.
I might like being human. What do you think I'll learn next? He meant to watch forever. He called himself Sorrow.
May I ask how things are, now that you're more human?
It hurts. Everything hurts. Everyone remembers me now. I can only make them miss me for a few heartbeats. But I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
I'll talk to you later.
If you like.
Oh, suddenly, it all makes sense. I now understand the nuance behind elven words. The ancient lore reveals patterns I would never have suspected. It is exhilarating, the rush of images. Truth dangling just out of reach.
Tell me more.
Take the Illuvians. It was always assumed their use was lost after the Tevinter conquest of Arlathan. But the ancient elves had closed all paths to the crossroads long before. They warred with themselves, and the Illuvians were sealed to prevent an enemy from using them to attack. So much is misunderstood. It will take years to absorb, if I get the chance.
I'm pleased I could give you that, at least.
And pleased I am to have the chance, believe me. None of which has anything to do with why I asked you here, of course. Earlier, I said there was a way to match the power of Corypheus, Inquisitor, and there is. We must summon Mathal.
And just how do you propose to do that?
Whatever Mathal was, goddess, myth, or ancient being, the voices of the well say a part of her power lingers on. How, or in what form, I cannot say, but that power is exactly what we need. I must go to an altar in the wilderness to perform the summoning, and you must be with me.
You don't need me for some ritual sacrifice, I hope.
The altar could have a guardian or other surprises, thus your company would be best. Just think, Inquisitor. Soon you could have an answer your people have sought for generations. The altar awaits our visit, Inquisitor. Everything I have done since leaving Ferelden has led me to this. Think of all we will learn.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course. My Lady Inquisitor.
You seem to know a great deal about elven lore.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Have the supplies reached our people in the Arbor Wilds?
I made sure of it. Too many strange plants there. We don't need stomach cramps sweeping the army.
This is the place?
It is. Look for an altar. Ancient, but still standing. There! Do you see it? 'Tis all that remains of the great altar. We few who travel far call to me, and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
Cry havoc in the moonlight. Let the fire of vengeance burn. The cause is clear. A very old invocation. Perfectly translated.
Why, thank you.
Strange that there wasn't an altar like this at Mythal's temple. The temple was a place of justice, but this is different. This was where the elves called to her, spoke to her.
Then one day she disappeared, and there was no one with whom to speak. Your companions will need to go elsewhere. Not to worry, if there is shouting, they will hear it readily enough. You know who I am. From High Priest to High Priest, I am the last to drink of sorrows. Come to us, Mythal. Whatever you are, whatever remains, I invoke your name and your power. Mother.
Mother?
Now, isn't this a surprise?
So this is Mythal.
She is a deceiving witch!
Now, that's quite enough of that.
What have you done to me?
I have done nothing. You drank from the well of your own volition.
Then you are Mythal?
Mythal was the goddess of justice. I've seen the statues. She
was one of the people. Yes, indeed.
I do not understand. How can you be Mythal?
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
Then you carry Mythal inside you.
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. You hear the voices of the well, girl. What do they say?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend given name and called a god? Or something more? Truth is not the end, but a beginning. So young and vibrant, you do the people proud and have come far. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
I know the name Flemeth. My people call you Asher Belenar, the woman of many years, and speak of your legend. It says long ago you left your husband for a lover. Your husband then tricked you, killed your lover, and imprisoned you. Then a spirit came to offer you vengeance. Mythal, that's what you spoke of.
One day someone will summarize the terrible events of your life so quickly. But yes, I was that woman. That is how my tale began.
Flemeth appears in other legends, helping heroes for reasons of her own.
I nudge history when it's required. Other times, a shove is needed.
If Mythal is a part of you, why haven't you helped us? We've called to you, prayed to you.
What was could not be changed.
What about now? You know so much.
You know not what you ask, child.
Then you're Mythal and Morrigan's mother.
As well as a witch who prolongs her unnatural life by possessing the bodies of her daughters.
That's what you believe, is it?
I found your grimoire, and I am no fool, old woman.
Yet here you stand, bound into my service. My daughter ran from me long ago. I've let her be, until now, it seems.
Why did Mythal come to you?
For a reckoning that will shake the very heavens.
And you follow her whims. Do you even know what she truly is?
You seek to preserve the powers that were, but to what end? It is because I taught you, girl. Because things happened that were never meant to happen. She was betrayed as I was betrayed, as the world was betrayed. Mythal clawed and crawled her way through the ages to me, and I will see her avenged! Alas, so long as the music plays, we dance.
We summoned you because we need your help.
Against the Magister who grasps beyond his reach. Yes, I know. The voices did not lie, Morrigan. I can help you fight Corypheus. Do you understand, child?
Yes. I think I do. Wait!
I wish to see who drank from the Well of Sorrows. It has been a very long time. Imagine my surprise to discover it was you.
And that is all?
A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never in danger from me.
All things considered, Inquisitor, I now wish you had drunk from the well.
Forced to obey your mother, huh? Ouch.
What she said is true, at least. I have the answer to your problem. I can match the Archdemon's power when the time comes. All that remains is for you to find Corypheus.
Your worship.
Mother must be very pleased. If I see her again, I will have no choice but to do every single thing she commands. I feel certain what happened at the Temple of Mythal must somehow have been her influence.
You might be right.
'Twas a temple dedicated to her, after all. Is it a coincidence we ended up there? There must be a connection we cannot see. I suppose we have little choice but to proceed and be thankful she assisted us at all.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Did you find what you need, Morrigan?
I can match the Darkspawn Magister's dragon. Yes. As for matching Corypheus, that is up to you, Inquisitor.
Believe me, I know.
Then all that remains is to find Corypheus before he comes to us.
We've been looking for his base since all this began, with no success.
His dragon must come and go from somewhere.
Oh, what about the deep roads? We could send word to Orzammar, hire envoys to...
It seems Corypheus is not content to wait.
He's in the Valley of Sacred Ashes.
You either close the breach once more, or it swallows the world.
But that's madness. Wouldn't it kill him as well?
Inquisitor, we have no forces to send with you. We must wait for them to return from the Arbor Wilds.
I must go now, before it's too late.
Tell me, where is your maker now? Call him. Call down his wrath upon me. You cannot, for he does not exist. I am Corypheus. I shall deliver you from this lie in which you linger. Bow before your new god and be spared.
Never!
As you wish. I knew you would come.
It ends here, Corypheus.
And so it shall. Successful in foiling my plans, but let us not forget what you are. A thief in the wrong place at the wrong time, an interloper, a gnat. We shall prove here, once and for all, which of us is worthy of godhood.
I'm the Maker's chosen.
A dragon! How clever of you! Hit
will avail you nothing. You will fall as a warning to those who oppose my divine will. Enough! I will destroy you where you stand. Slave markings on your face with pride. You are nothing. A race of sniveling cowards that shrank before Definta power. I shall sear you from the very heavens. As you wish. And this is the Warden of which I've been told so much. Enough! I will destroy you where you stand.
Fight while you can, demon.
As you wish. Feel my wrath. it end here! Let the skies boil! Let the world be rent asunder!
The breach is getting bigger! So it is! Kill him before he destroys the veil!
Not like this. I have walked the halls of the Golden City, crossed the ages. Do not, ancient ones, I beseech you. If you exist, if you ever truly existed, aid me now.
Wanted into the fade. Solus?
The orb.
I know you wanted the orb saved. I'm so sorry.
It is not your fault.
There's more, isn't there?
It was not supposed to happen this way, no matter what comes. I want you to know you shall always have my respect.
Inquisitor, are you alive?
Victorious, I see. What a novel result. And it seems the breach is finally closed.
Looks that way.
What do we do now?
We go back to Skyhold.
A moment, my lady. My agents have found no trace of Solus. He has simply vanished. If he does not wish to be found, there's likely nothing we can do. But I will keep looking.
Why would he just leave? Something must be wrong.
You said he was upset about the orb.
That can't be the only reason.
Now that Corypheus has been defeated, we have a moment to stop and celebrate. Afterwards, you will be busy. Every noble in southern Thedas is clamoring to meet you.
The fighting's over. Why do they want to meet me now?
You're joking, yes? They wish to bask in the glory of your victory, hoping that some of it will rub off on them. Everyone knows Empress Celine owes you her life and her throne. 1,000 problems remain, and your opinion will be sought on each one, whether you wish to give it or not.
I don't see what all the fuss is about. Corypheus needed to be stopped.
And you are the one who stopped him. Previously, you were an upstart, a Dalish elf leading a band of rebels and heretics. Until Corypheus revealed himself, they could not see the single hand behind the chaos. Once he did, they knew. A Magister and a Darkspawn in one creature. The ultimate evil. Now you are the only power left standing. Enjoy the evening while you can, Inquisitor.
Am I imagining it? Or do we have a moment to breathe?
I can scarcely believe it.
Conclave, Haven. It seems so long ago. You should hear the stories they're telling in the barracks. The pride in their voices. Some of the soldiers have requested leave to return home, but many would follow us still. You are proof that the Inquisition has made a difference, and that we will continue to do so.
That's why we're having this fancy party. Celebrate, Commander. You've earned it.
I will. Thank you. I should let you mingle. I'm sure everyone desires your attention. Enjoy the party, Inquisitor.
All this pomp and ceremony? Can't top seeing that bastard Corypheus burn. No matter what happens to me now, I can say I was there. I helped you bring him down.
It took all of us, but we did it.
I shudder to think where we'd be without you leading us. So now that you've saved the world, what's next? Hoping to put it all back together?
It'll be a huge undertaking.
If anyone can do it, you can. If you ever need my help, you know where to find me. I'll be ready.
I've been starting to think about putting all this into a book. Right now I'm thinking, this shit is weird, the Inquisitor Llewellyn story. It's a working title.
I'm glad you've gone back to writing.
Well, nothing's certain until it's in print. I still haven't decided if I should do this book. As if anyone will believe this story if I tell it. Not to mention, I'll have my hands full with reconstruction and relief efforts in the free marches as soon as I get back.
You should write the book.
I'll see what I can do once I get home. I'm not leaving for a while yet, though. We'll have to get in at least one game of Wicked Grace before I go. Curly needs to win back some of his dignity.
So, demons, dragons, giant asshole Vint on a big magic rock. You don't let it get dull, boss. Good stuff.
You helped make it possible, Bull.
That's what they pay me for. It's weird. I joined the Inquisition under orders from the Ben Hasrath and stayed because Corypheus was an asshole. Now that it's done, I've got no orders. For the first time in my life, I can go wherever I want.
Got anywhere in mind?
If it's all the same with you, I'm pretty good right here. Anyway, the only place I'm going tonight is back for more drinks. To us, being alive, and the bad guys not. Anan.
So many people died. More still are hurting. They need help. It seems wrong to celebrate, but I want to. The part of me that's me needs to, after all this. The servants are drinking. Some of them are drinking while lying down.
Do you have any interest in joining them?
I don't know. Not now. It makes things more complicated, and I'm not ready. Someday. Maybe. What happens next? Where do we go?
For tonight, we remind the world and each other that we're alive.
Yes. Because of you. Thank you for letting me stay.
I was passing through the hall this morning and a serving girl saw me and squealed. Actually squealed, dropped her laundry and everything. Such a mess. She was completely breathless.
You were at the battle with the evil one, weren't you?
I didn't even get a chance to answer. She hugged me. Hugged me. This is your influence. Mind you, I can't say I hate the notion of being the good Tevinter. I suppose you can't all be evil bastards. The blacksmith said that, and he spat when we first met. I hope my father hears. He will shit his small clothes from shock, I swear.
You're an example of how noble Tevinter could be.
For Southerners, maybe. Back home, they'll be rolling their eyes behind their fans. Meanwhile, they'll conveniently forget the bastards who wanted Corypheus ruling us all. I've decided to stay with the Inquisition. For now.
You will?
Tevinter lacks the presence of my best and only friend. It'll keep.
Finally got a party, yeah? A bit of fun for saving the world. It's the least Andraste's herald deserves for making things normal again. Except for, you know, everything ever again. I mean, is this for us or for her? Or, you know, him? Because I was there and I still don't know what's real.
Couldn't it be his will and our effort? Perhaps miracles need a little help.
Well, what's the friggin' point of them then? Ugh, you sound like a sister. I guess you'd know by this point. Seems like you did it right, mostly. Still some things to do yet, right? Because I'm in no hurry to go back to... Valrio, that's where I was. You mind if people still stay around? Or whatever?
This is home if you'll have it.
Shut it, you. I cry, I'm punching everyone. All right, enough of that. Is this a party or what? Raise them for winning. Big freaking heroes, Inquisitor. All of us.
Ugh, I should never have hired a new caterer so late.
Leave it be, Josie. Everything's fine.
It is not! I'm so sorry, nothing's quite as it should be. Do you like the drinks? I'm not sure about them.
The drinks are fine. It's been a wonderful evening.
I hope you're not just saying that. You're not, are you? What a disaster. So much was late, the invitations to our guests barely went out at all, and it was so wonderful to prepare for a small banquet instead of the end of the world. Do you know what everyone is talking about tonight, from commoners to kings? Us. Thedas is discussing the success of the Inquisition.
You played no small part in our rise to power.
You had a role yourself, if I recall correctly. Truly, we will never forget those we lost. But for tonight, to victory.
I can't believe it's over. It seemed an impossible task. Defy the Chantry, build the Inquisition from nothing, defeat a creature that would be a god. And yet here we are, celebrating.
So we should be. Defeating Corypheus was no simple task.
He was so confident of his power, he could not conceive of losing.
If he could, he would never have challenged me.
And he would have gone into hiding. Yes, it worked out far better this way. I have news from the sequester. I believe the Chantry intends to name me Divine very soon. It would not have been possible without your support and friendship. It means a great deal to me.
That's good news.
I think back to how we first met, and here you stand, the chosen of Andraste, proven in the eyes of all Thedas, and you are my friend. How did that happen, I wonder? I'm pleased it did. You are a great woman, and I will always stand at your side.
Enjoying the refreshments? Josephine sent all the way to the capital for the petit four.
I must remember to thank her for the trouble.
She's been craving the cakes from Madame Lucien's shop for months. This celebration gave her the perfect excuse. To you, Inquisitor, for all you've done.
So much to do, my dear. Elections for Grand Enchanter must be held, and many of the circles lack even interim First Enchanters. It will take time, and it may not be possible to restore the history that was lost, but we will reinstate the circles. But that will wait. Are you enjoying the celebration? Josephine was in a frenzy arranging it.
As a matter of fact, I am.
This is all for you, darling. Enjoy yourself. You've earned it. Go mingle. The night is still young.
Tis said that Corypheus woke after his long slumber and found the world gone awry. He fought to bring back those days of magic and shadow, to raise himself as a god and set things right. Now, we are left with a scar in the sky to remind us of what almost was. It tells us that a great victory against chaos was won, but left the world forever changed. Consider the mighty empire of Orlais, where Empress Celine remains on her golden throne. The civil war is ended, Gaspar is defeated, but it is said Briala yet plots her return from exile. The Empress now faces a war in the shadows. Elven daggers rule the night, and spies follow her every move. Fortunately for Celine, her gratitude towards the Inquisition has remained strong. Some claim she clings too tightly to the Alliance. Others know it is all that stands between her and defeat. The Grey Wardens of the South slowly rebuild in the months following the events at Adamant. They declare it time for the Order to emerge from the shadows, to join the rest of humanity in fighting their ancient foes. Rumors abound that they severed ties with their leaders at Weishaupt, and that a bitter war now rages between them. What becomes of Hawke is unknown, save that all news out of Weishaupt soon ends. Does the sudden silence indicate a battle within, or something far worse? 1 month after the defeat of Corypheus, the Chantry names Cassandra as successor to the Sunburst throne. Given the name Divine Victoria, she immediately enacts reform, a new Templar order, and a new circle of Magi. The Seekers of Truth are rededicated to their purpose of protecting the innocent. A proclamation of support for the Inquisition is issued, recognizing its service to all of Thedas. Despite her popularity, the new Divine's reforms are seen by some as going too far. Those Templars of the Inquisition who were recruited at Therenfall Redoubt are left with a choice. In the end, many return to the Templar Order when it is reformed by the Divine. Those who remain under the watchful eye of Commander Cullen become the core of the Inquisitor's personal guard. And what of the Inquisition itself? It has eyes and ears in every hall. No secrets are beyond its reach, and that knowledge has become the source of its power. I leave Skyhold now, knowing that power will continue to grow. The Inquisitor is a symbol to many, a leader of the changing world order. To others, she has become a target. They linger in the shadows, waiting for their day to come. When it does, the Inquisition shall stand ready.
Find me still searching for someone to lead me. Can you guide me to the revolt inside me? Promise surviving the breach. Promise surviving the breach in the sky. you would come. You should not have given your orb to Corypheus, Dread Wolf.
I was too weak to unlock it after my slumber. The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people... they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old